Every year, the U.S. changes its travel and visa rules for different countries. Some Asian nations are now facing strict limits and may no longer be welcome. In this video, we talk about the 7 Asian countries no longer welcome in the U.S. in 2025 and explain the real reasons behind this. And now, let's dive in. Number 7. Russia. Russia's relationship with the United States has been tense for many years, and in 2025, the U.S. has fully closed its doors to most Russian travelers. The reason is tied to political conflict, cybersecurity concerns, and ongoing military actions that the U.S. strongly opposes. Because of this, the U.S. government decided to restrict Russians from entering, making them no longer welcome. But why did the U.S. finally take this big step against Russia? The answer is linked to global security and influence. The U.S. believes that many risks could come from allowing Russian visitors, including the fear of spying, illegal transactions, and political tensions spreading inside the country. This ban also affects ordinary Russians who once traveled to the U.S. for studies, business, or even tourism. Many students who dreamed of studying in American universities have been denied visas, and business ties have been frozen. Families are also separated because visiting relatives has become impossible. In the end, Russia is no longer welcome in the U.S. in 2025, not only because of politics, but also because of mistrust that grew deeper over the years. Oh, before we go to the next country, comment down below where you are watching. We love to know where you are from. And now, let's go to the next country. Number 6, Bangladesh. Bangladesh was once seen as a strong U.S. partner in South Asia, but in 2025, the U.S. placed new restrictions that pushed the country off the welcome list. This change surprised many because Bangladesh has a large number of workers abroad, and America was once a key destination. So what pushed the U.S. to take this step? The answer is election issues and human rights concerns. The U.S. has openly criticized Bangladesh for not handling elections fairly and for limiting freedom of speech. Because of this, America no longer wants to appear supportive of the current system. The effect is clear. Many Bangladeshis who applied for U.S. visas are now being rejected. Skilled workers, students, and even tourists are facing travel bans. This has caused disappointment, especially among families hoping for opportunities in the United States. The U.S. believes that by applying strong restrictions, Bangladesh will feel pressure to improve its political system. Whether this will work or not remains to be seen, but for now, the reality is that Bangladesh has joined the list of countries no longer welcome in America. Number 5, Myanmar. Myanmar's story with the U.S. is heavily shaped by political unrest. In 2025, the United States fully stopped welcoming Myanmar citizens because of the ongoing crisis inside the country. The military government, which took control years ago, has been accused of serious human rights violations. Why did the U.S. finally block Myanmar so strongly? The answer is simple. America does not want to support a government linked to violence and abuse. By banning Myanmar travelers, the U.S. is sending a clear message that it does not approve of the country's leadership. This has caused great problems for ordinary Myanmar people. Students who once sought scholarships in the U.S. are now denied entry. Families hoping to work and build a future in America have also lost that chance. The tourism industry also suffers because connections to the U.S. have been cut off. The U.S. hopes this move will push for change in Myanmar's leadership, but it also means thousands of innocent people will suffer the results. In 2025, Myanmar is no longer welcome in the U.S. because of a government that refuses to restore democracy and peace. Wait, if you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more content, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. And now, let's go to the next country. Number 4, Afghanistan. Afghanistan has faced war and instability for decades, and in 2025, the U.S. decided to close its doors completely to Afghan citizens. The main reason is the Taliban's control and the lack of a reliable government. The U.S. believes that without a stable system, it is unsafe to allow Afghan travelers into the country. But what is the exact reason the U.S. banned Afghanistan in 2025? The answer is national security. The U.S. argues that Afghanistan does not have strong systems to verify passports, track travelers, or prevent extremist groups from moving freely. This makes it a possible risk for America. So, the ban was placed. The impact is very painful. Families who had hoped to reunite in the U.S. are now blocked. Students who earned scholarships have lost their opportunities. Business and humanitarian ties that once connected the two countries are also cut. The ban also sends a strong message. The U.S. wants Afghanistan to prove that it can maintain safety and order. Until then, America does not want to take chances. For ordinary Afghan citizens, this ban is heartbreaking because they are the ones most affected. In 2025, Afghanistan is no longer welcome in the U.S. because of deep mistrust, weak security systems, and fears that terrorism could spread. Until real changes happen, Afghanistan will remain on the outside, with its people paying the highest price for a future they cannot control. Number 3, Pakistan. Pakistan's relationship with the U.S. has always been complicated, and in 2025 things reached a breaking point. The United States officially stopped welcoming most Pakistani citizens, saying that terrorism and political instability remain a serious issue. Why did the U.S. place Pakistan under a ban in 2025? The answer is linked to national security concerns. The U.S. believes that extremist groups still operate inside Pakistan and that the government has not done enough to control them. For America, letting travelers in without trust could create danger. The result is very tough for ordinary people. Students who dreamed of studying in the U.S. are now unable to go. Families who planned reunions are separated. Workers and businesses that relied on American ties also faced heavy losses. The ban does not only affect travel, but also damages Pakistan's international image. The U.S. expects Pakistan to take stronger action against extremist groups and to show proof of security improvements. Until then, doors will remain closed. For many Pakistanis, this is a painful reality. They feel punished for problems caused by politics and groups they do not control. Still, in 2025, the United States made it clear Pakistan is no longer welcome, mainly because of fears that terrorism and instability may spread into its borders. This ban shows how fragile trust has become, leaving Pakistanis struggling with broken dreams and limited paths to the future. Number 2, Iran. Iran has faced U.S. restrictions for decades, but in 2025, the country reached a new low point. America has now closed its doors to almost all Iranian citizens, declaring them no longer welcome. This move is tied to years of conflict, especially over Iran's nuclear program and military influence in the Middle East. What caused the U.S. to fully ban Iran in 2025? The answer is its nuclear activities. The U.S. claims that Iran has not been honest about its nuclear program, and this is viewed as a global threat. America believes that strict bans can stop Iran from gaining further power and prevent risks to world security. The effects are very strong. Iranian students who once made up a large number of U.S. university enrolls can no longer attend. Families hoping to reunite have been divided, and businesses with American partners are cut off. Tourism has also stopped, leaving many ordinary Iranians without contact with the outside world. For the people, the ban feels unfair. Many Iranians are not connected to politics or nuclear issues, yet they are the ones who suffer the most. Losing access to the U.S. means fewer opportunities, fewer choices, and more isolation. The U.S., however, believes that pressure will eventually force change by limiting Iran's ability to connect. Washington hopes the country will face greater internal pressure to adjust its policies. Still, this outcome is uncertain. In 2025, Iran is no longer welcome in the U.S. because mistrust, nuclear fears, and political rivalry have grown too deep. Many experts also say this ban will have long-term effects. It will limit educational growth, block cultural exchange, and cut Iran away from one of the biggest global markets. For young people, it feels like doors are closing faster than they can find new ones to open. Families are left with painful choices as travel to America is no longer possible. The U.S. hopes pressure will push Iran toward change, but ordinary citizens see only fewer chances for progress. In 2025, the ban stands firm, shaping lives in ways that will be felt for years ahead. Number 1, China. China being on this list is one of the biggest surprises of 2025. For years, China and the U.S. were deeply connected in trade, education, and travel. But now, rising tensions have led to a ban that makes Chinese citizens no longer welcome. Why did the U.S. finally block China in 2025? The answer is linked to security and competition. The U.S. accuses China of cyber attacks, stealing technology, and interfering in American politics. On top of this, the two nations are locked in a trade and military rivalry that has grown more intense every year. The results are huge. Chinese students who once made up one of the largest groups in U.S. universities now face denied visas. Businesses that relied on U.S. trade are losing deals, and tourism has fallen sharply. Families are also torn apart as travel becomes nearly impossible. For the U.S., the ban is about protection. Leaders argue that allowing Chinese visitors could increase risks of spying or influence. By cutting access, they believe America is guarding its national security. For China, the move shows how badly ties have collapsed. Ordinary citizens who are not responsible for political disputes feel the greatest pain. Many had dreams of studying, working, or simply visiting the U.S. But now those doors are shut. In 2025, China is no longer welcome in the United States, not just because of rivalry, but because of complete mistrust. The decision marks a turning point in global politics, proving how quickly two powerful nations can close their doors to each other. The ban also affects global education and trade in a huge way. American schools lose thousands of bright Chinese students, while Chinese families lose the chance to connect with one of the world's top education systems. Businesses also feel the heavy cost as investments slow and opportunities vanish. For ordinary travelers, the loss is emotional as much as practical. Many who once enjoyed family visits or simple tourism in the U.S. now see those doors locked tight. The United States says this step is necessary for safety, but the human cost cannot be ignored. In 2025, the ban is not just about politics. It is about broken ties that affect millions of lives on both sides of the ocean. Thanks for watching. Before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and smash the notification bell. Which of these countries do you think will completely break ties with the U.S.? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'll be reading and replying to as many as possible.